Hello and welcome to this webinar about getting more from your paid advertising. In this video, we're going to be running you through our agency strategies to getting the best ads for your business. So this video isn't a sales pitch. We've got nothing to sell you here, just good, actionable advice that you can take away today and implement into your business. But what's more is that we are going to be offering you a free 30-minute consultation call. So in this, we'll run you through what you're doing currently and how to improve on that, or even just how to get started with advertising your business. As I said, it's completely free. There is a button below this video if you want to book your consultation call in, but please stick around for the entire video. You're going to learn a lot on it. So let's get started. There are three main types of paid media that we look at digitally, and these are the ones that we rate as well performing for the time and cost investment. These are Facebook ads, Google AdWords, and influencer marketing. So all have their benefits and they all have their separate strategies to get the most out of. So today we're going to be looking mainly at Facebook ads. If we looked at them all in this video, this would be longer than the Lord of the Rings saga. So we're only going to be doing separate videos for each one. So if you are looking to really get that overall ad knowledge, there will be more videos coming. But the reason we're starting with this is because we love Facebook ads. They are so powerful. There's really so much you can do with them. You can really define down your perfect audience, and you can create some amazing and engaging ads with it. So this is our go-to way of advertising. So let's start off by having a look at what Facebook ads can bring in if done well. This is an example we ran for a client promoting an experience for teenagers. It's teaching them how to drive early. So we ran an ad targeted at the teenagers to get them hyped about this opportunity. I remember when I first learned, it was almost a race with your friends to be the first to drive. So it's such an exciting time for these young people being able to start. So a lot of them will get behind this idea of starting before you are supposed to. Now this ad got 73 likes, 93 comments, and a staggering 1,130 visits to the website. So the ROI on this advert was crazy. We brought in so much more business from this one ad for the business. The ad content isn't perfect, and that's what we test. That's why we do a lot of the testing we do. But what is working, and this is super important, is the targeting. So this ad wouldn't perform nearly as well if we hadn't got the targeting for our audience correct. So let's break down the process of creating a killer ad. So you can start to see the power of Facebook advertising, and you can start thinking how it would work with your business. So step one is what your customer is struggling with. So you need to write down 3 points about the pains of your ideal customers and what they are struggling with. So in my case, this could be struggling to create ads that convert, or spending too much on ads and not getting a return. If you're a restaurant, for example, you could have something like finding new places to eat. For example, that would be something a lot of us can relate to, a lot of us have a problem with. So this is going to really define what your ad is selling or what you are helping your potential customers with. You then need to start getting creative and turn this into a statement or the beginning of your advert. So make this something compelling to draw your audience in with. What I would do for the restaurant example would be turning the finding new places to eat pain point into something like delight your taste buds with our fresh tasting sushi, or something like that. So you're getting the audience enticed with powerful and emotive language. One pro writing tip you need to be aware of is starting your advert with a question. This can go two ways, like Marmite. The users either love it or they hate it. The problem with questions is it gives the user a choice. It sounds like a terrible statement, but it's true. So for example, if you say, Are you tired of eating the same food every night? For a quick example, this gives the user the option to say, well, no, actually, I'm fine, and keep on scrolling. So we don't advise starting with a question for this reason. You could put people off before they've even had a chance to actually see what it is you're offering. So keep those power statements going and draw the audience in. Step 2 is to create your offer. So now you've enticed your audience, you've grabbed their attention, but they still aren't fully convinced to click yet. So you need to create that offer that is going to change their life forever. So start by writing down 3 or so benefits or offers that could entice your users. This could be something like, with this free webinar, you're going to learn how to create adverts that convert. Or for the restaurant example, get a free beer on us when using the word gimme beer. You need to make this offer sound like the best thing ever and will really draw new customers in. If you're selling a product, using discount codes will also really help later on with tracking your ROI. That's something we'll cover later on in this webinar, so got to keep you wanting more, right? So this next step, step 3, is to draw them in with imagery. For this, you need to think about what images, or ideally video, will help sum up your advert offering. So for the restaurants, it would be images of beer they give away, maybe stylize it up so it makes it jump off the screen. You know, as you're scrolling, you need to really grab their attention so they stop scrolling, watch the video, or look at the image and then look at the ad. In this example, better than an image of a beer would be a video of a beer in all its glory, really selling that free beer, making people want that beer. What you need to think about on the image or video is the text as well. And this is where it gets slightly tricky. So in essence, Facebook doesn't like text on your image or video adverts. So if you have a lot of text on them, they're actually less likely to show the advert, or you're going to be spending more per impression or per click. Although, having said that, you can actually get a custom review. So this means it's going to take a little bit longer for your ad to actually go live, but it could save you money and end up with a better ad because of this. Basically, instead of the Facebook advert robot looking at your ad and going, no, there's more than 20% text on this image, it will be an actual human looking at the image and go, okay, that text is fair, it relates to the ad, it makes sense having it there. So doing a custom review can actually be quite beneficial. So if you are going to put copy on your image, keep it simple, drop only the real impactful information on. So the coupon code and free beer, for example. And that's all you need on it. This will make sure the image or video is still super relevant to the advert, and it will go live as quickly as possible, and it's not going to affect any of your cost per click, or it's not going to make you spend more money. So step 4 is creating your ideal audience. This isn't something you can just grab a template from. You need to really put your thinking hat on and research for this, but can be made easier in some cases. So if you have a super large following on Facebook, or you have a massive email list, you can actually slack off a little and let Facebook do the work for you. But before that, I'm going to go through creating an audience from scratch, because not all ads are actually going to want the audience you've already got, so you'll probably need to create an audience from scratch at some point. So first you need to go to the Facebook Business Manager. If you don't have this already, you will need to go through a few steps to set this up, but it's pretty simple. So I'm not going to run through that in this video. I will put a blog on our website about it, so if you do need to do that, you can go to our site, www.2-guys.co.uk, and find the blog on that, and that will run you through all the steps you need to get to this. Then you'll want to go ahead and navigate to Audience Insights. Once you're there, you'll be faced with 2 options: everyone on Facebook or people connected with your page. We normally recommend going with people connected to your page, just because this is going to give you a better representation of your followers to begin with. But obviously, if you don't have many followers yet, it's not really going to make a difference. So then you get to this page, so take a little time to look at this page and see who your followers are. You need to get to know them, and you can start seeing who your audience really is. I mean, is it what you expected? Sometimes it's quite interesting to see who is actually reacting to your posts and to your page. It might not be who you originally thought it was. So now from this page, you can start to refine an audience for your ads. You can add new locations in. So if your business is highly local, then you'll want to start thinking about how far out will people travel to get to you. For something digital like us, it's almost harder because we can work with anyone in the world. But if you're that restaurant, for example, you're probably going to put a 10, maybe 15-mile radius from your location, because people aren't really going to travel further than that to go to a restaurant unless it's super premium, maybe a 3 Michelin star. People will come from anywhere in the world to come to your restaurant. So next thing you can do is to look at your age range. Is your product or service for a very particular range? For example, the advert we showed at the start was for under 17s, but also around learning to drive early. So we targeted 14 to 16-year-olds within the area. Interest is next. This is something you're going to want to spend a little bit more time thinking about. You can't rush this section. So you can target right down to very niche groups of people if you have the interest correctly. And remember to look within each interest category as well. Sometimes they have 3 or 4 levels or subcategories that you can really drill down into, so you can really get that perfect audience. Remember, it's not about having the biggest audience, it's about having the right audience. So you can send your ad out to 1 million people, but if only 10% of those actually are your audience, then you're just going to be wasting money. You may as well send it out to 10,000 highly targeted people and actually get results from it. If you click the drop down next to advanced, you're going to get a whole load more options that we won't go into today, but have a look around them, explore them, and see if there's any in there that can help you define your audience even more. Once you've done with this, you need to save that audience. So click the save at the top and put in your easily identifiable name. You might end up creating quite a few different audiences, so you can target different ads to different people. So you need to make sure you've got a name that you know what that audience is for and what it does. So for future ads, you can just go, I'm just going to use this one that I've already created. I know it's going to be perfect. So what if you do have this massive following on Facebook and you've built up a solid email list? Facebook makes it super easy for you to auto-create an audience. We love this feature. It's just such a time saver. So if you navigate to audiences, you can start creating from there. So you start a new audience and you'll be shown this pop-up. What this is going to do is guide you through the steps to automatically creating an audience for you. So the customer file is where you go if you've got that big email list. It imports those emails and develops an audience that is similar to those on your list. Website traffic is great if you've got the Facebook pixel installed, which I highly suggest everyone does. If you've got a lot of traffic going to your website already, this will then create an audience similar to the people that are visiting your site, so you know those people are more likely to already be interested. This is also great for remarketing. So if you created an ad that's sending them to your website, you can then create a second ad to target the people that have already visited your website, to kind of prompt them if they haven't already bought. App traffic is basically the same as website traffic. Offline activity is amazing if you have a brick and mortar store. There is a lot of setup that goes into this, so we're going to create a blog around setting this up. It's super powerful. It's something quite new to Facebook ads, but it is it's just an amazing feature. Finally, you have your engagement, and this is perfect for those with your big Facebook or your big Instagram audience that you want to sell to. It reviews your followers and it develops an audience with people who have similar interests. So it's really good to use. It's amazing. So now you've got your audience, you need to do step 5, which is creating that ad. So everything is in place now to make your ad this super massive success. So the process to putting all of this work together is fairly simple. So we won't go into it too much detail, but I do want to quickly go over the types of ad that you can do. When creating your ad, you'll be faced with this screen here. And we say there are 2 main ad styles you should focus on to begin with: engagement and conversion. They operate quite differently and both have a reason for use. So engagement ads, they're all about getting the users to engage with your post, basically. You want to be using these for posts that you have on your page, but you want to get a bit more traction on. So nothing too salesy. Think of it like boosting a post, but on steroids, right? The reason for it is it's much better than boosting a post because you can test different audiences. So the way we use this is to test our engagement ad on 2 or 3 different audiences to see which performs best. And from that, you can actually spend smarter on your sales ad. So if you think of it this way, you've got this post on your Facebook page that's really good. It's done quite well already with engagement, but you think, let's boost it, let's make it better. So you do that post again on the engagement ads, but you have 2, maybe 3 different audiences that you target, see which one of those brings in more likes, more follows, more shares, more comments even. And then from that you can say, well, this particular audience was really engaged, so we're going to do another advert to them, which is then hopefully going to create that sale. And that's where you go onto the sales ad. So for this, you'll use the conversion style ad. This is encouraging people to leave Facebook and visit your site. So you can actually expect the cost per click to be a little higher because obviously they're leaving Facebook, but it's not going to be too much. It's still going to be cheaper than Google Ads. So this is what you're going to use for the ad to getting people to buy. The final step, step 6, is to test. Now you have one amazing ad audience, but there is a problem. It might not be working that well, so you could be wasting money. So what you need to do is test and develop your ads, and there is a few different ways to do this. The 2 main ways are testing audience or testing your content. We don't recommend doing both at the same time. This just adds too many variables and can end up in you getting results back and you don't really know why one did better than the other. So just focus on one area and get the best results for that and move on to something else. So testing audiences is basically the same as doing an engagement ad. So you do the same ad copy, same video or image, and you just put it out to different audiences. Wait for the results, move on to refining the best performing ad. So you're going to refine that audience down even more, do it again, and you just keep repeating this process. Testing content takes a little longer, so you need to test around 6 to 10 different ads to get the best results. This means writing 5 or so pieces of ad copy and then making 5 or so different images or videos to go along with that ad copy. Maybe even try and mix some videos, some images, depending on your product or service. One might actually work better than the other. You then need to mix and match these together to develop each ad combination. This will result in you seeing which ad set works best. So one piece of copy might work amazingly with the video you've created, but without testing, you might never have known that. And that's it. It is a lot of work to get these high-performing ads and will require a high level of attention to make sure you're really getting the most out of your budget, but it can seriously increase the level of client opportunities within your business if done correctly. To help this, as we mentioned at the start, we are offering you a free 30-minute consultation call to help you develop a solid Facebook ad strategy. So if you just click the button below this video, and then you need to just book in your time, and we'll give you a call and discuss what you're facing now, if you've done anything before, or, how you can get started. So thanks for watching, and I hope you've developed a good understanding of Facebook ads in this webinar, and I look forward to speaking to you in the future.